being so far away gets me every time. Hello, Ken. Hello, Beth. How are you? What's everybody up to today? Anything good and exciting? I was gonna see if Jack wanted to pull today, but he had no business with being interested in that at all. Well, good morning. Beth, do you want your card for the day? I'd be happy to pull one for you if you would like one. I figured it was a good time to come on and hang out for a little while this afternoon. The podcast episode already went up today. It feels like it's going to be a quiet day again. I'm hoping with the weather being nice, people are like back to going out and about and doing stuff. All right, let's see. Ken, I don't think we did yours today either. I don't think so. All right, let's see. Beth, this is the Bluebird Spirit of Happiness. Hello, Samantha. How are you? Okay, I was going to say I don't think we did. This card is the Harbinger of Delight. Celebrate and have fun. Embrace life, yourself, and others, and say yes. Soar to the clouds and let your doubts dissolve. All is well. It's simple. Your purpose in life is to experience happiness, and that's all that's required of you as a soul. You do not need to be unhappy to please another. Whatever your circumstances, there's always something that can bring you delight, and what you put your attention on will grow. When you focus on the areas of your life that bring you happiness, those will prosper. Hello, JC. How are you? I hope everyone's having a beautiful day. Beth, that was fab. Fabulous. I hope everyone's having a beautiful day. It's nice outside. The new podcast episode, Samantha, thanks for the heart meet. The new podcast episode came out today. We have reading spots open, whether people want to do past life readings or other stuff. And we're also going to do a collective energy work here in a little bit. So if you're someone who's been looking to do some energy work, we're going to do some together. All right, Ken, let's see. What do I go for Ken today? Ken, this is the Frog Spirit of Renewal. Let's see. The frog's 3 stages of development symbolize renewal, resurrection, and transformation. This card speaks of a profound restoration of your life that is occurring. It's never too late to begin again. If your past was less than successful, remember this. What has occurred does not mandate what will occur. You can start out fresh and new. However, if you do what you've always done, you'll get what you've always gotten. In order to reboot your life, you need to do things in a different way. Abounding good luck is activated and awaiting you. Reflect on varying symbolism of the frog in different cultures and see if any meanings resonate for you at this time. In ancient Egypt, the frog symbolized birth and rebirth, and in certain Native American traditions, frog medicine is healing by virtue of its transformative life. The Celts believed that frogs represented healing because of their connection with water, and in China, the frog is a powerful symbol of prosperity, healthy childbirth, and good luck. Hello, Sparrow. How are you? Ken, that was fabulous. I hope everyone is having an absolutely beautiful day. It's Friday. Hippie Goth, thanks for the hydration reminder, my friend. Much appreciated. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day. So I hope everyone's having a great day. The new podcast episode came out today. It is a road. You know what's super funny? Jen just commented, I'm loving the frog card, and then that was the frog card at the same time. So there's obviously something to do with frogs today. The new podcast episode came out today. It's a roadmap to shadow work. So really what I did is go through your body and like digest parts of it. Tell like where emotions are stuck and what that energy looks like. Hello, Allison. Hello, Jen Marie. Thank you guys for the heart me's. So that came out today. And I think we're gonna do a collective energy work on here today. And I think I might tomorrow release a new one for Patreon. Thank you for the heart me, Allison. I appreciate you. I hope everyone's having a beautiful day. I'm trying to think of what else. Oh, Ether Study Hall is next week. That's the other thing I want to remind you of. That workshop is all about learning to strengthen trust in your intuition. So that is what we have going on coming up. I'm pretty excited about it. And if you're someone who's over in Patreon, Monday is the first day for readings and energy work. Jen Marie, do you want your card for the day? I would be more than happy to pull it for you. It was super funny. You commented about the frog as I pulled the frog card on here for Ken, and I got the comment notification and I just laughed. Ken also got a frog card today. All right, let's see. What do we got? What do I got? Ooh. Jen, this is the flow card. When life presents you a meandering path rather than a straight shot to a goal, you can feel frustrated. You might bemoan the fact that the path seems aimless and roundabout and that you can't see what's ahead. On the other hand, you can just enjoy the voyage, and if life right now seems to have some sinuous curves, bends, loops, and turns, don't despair. All is as it should be, and this card is suggesting that you relinquish control to the path forward and see where it takes you. Jen, that was fab. Hey Sparrow, Allison, if you guys would like your cards for the day, just let me know and I'd be happy to pull them for you. The other thing that I wanted to chat about today too is you're welcome. I've been seeing posts about, I saw a post today that really stuck with me, and like to the point I even commented on it because people like to go after the phrase raise your vibration. And I think that depending on the lens through which they see and understand that terminology, that it might not make sense. And so the only thing I want to say is whenever you, like, at least I'll speak for me, whenever I talk about frequency, and vibration and all these things, I'm not just saying it to pull it out of my butt cheek. It literally goes back to ancient texts that are older than Jesus. And I've seen firsthand what raise your vibration means to me. And to me, what it is coming out of a place of fear, because your frequency is different with the emotions that are in your space. So, what I will always say is I don't think that being a better you is a goal or an achievable, something you have to climb. It's just, how do you be a better person? And I think for some people, that's a struggle to understand that, like, there is a potential for you to keep growing, and you're only harming yourself if you stunt your own growth. You know, like that's the only, like the easiest way I can say it is I see so many people who get in their own fucking way, and they would be more than willing to help somebody else do it, but help themselves. The audacity of me to accuse them of needing to do that. So just remind yourself, like, if you would do something to support somebody else's dream, if you would do something to support someone else's growth, why don't you feel yourself worthy enough to do it yourself? That's my question. All right, let's see. Sparrow. This is the eagle spirit of freedom. Hello, Claire. All right, let's see. This card indicates that it's time to break free and let your spirit fly. Be daring as you go beyond predictable behavior and fling your arms up to the heavens in joy. This card can also appear when you have let life or others restrict your freedom. Recognizing this is the first step to reclaiming your power. Don't allow yourself to be trapped by convention or the expectation of others. The truth is that you aren't here on earth to be ordinary, but to step beyond limitations and self-imposed boundaries. You have the ability to choose your life on your terms, and perhaps you aren't always free to create the exact circumstances of your life, but you're certainly able to decide what meaning to give to those situations. Generally, thanks for lighting up the perfumes. I appreciate you. Sparrow, that was fabulous. All right, Allison, let's see. I hope everyone's having a really good day today. We're going to do some collective energy work here in a little bit. And then don't forget, the new podcast episode came out today, and it's all about a roadmap to starting your own shadow work journey. All right, let's see. Allison, this is the spirit guardian of spring. the activation card. Hey, Claire, I have a question for you. Do not hesitate. The time is now. Take action. It's okay if you're hesitant or even afraid. Face the fear and do it anyway. There are times to pull back and think carefully before every action, but this isn't one of those times. Forge forward with courage and certainty, and a new beginning awaits you. You might experience some chaos or turmoil, but that is all part of this exciting time of activation. Do not allow upheaval to disrupt your forward trajectory, and be courageous and forthright. Make your decisions swiftly and with confidence, and then act on them with steely resolve. Get it, girl? Thanks for letting me pull it for you. YouTheBomb.com. Girl, first off, yes, I love that. I'm glad that, see, I love doing soul designs. I really think they're helpful, and that's the other thing too, is I try to write them in a way that people will understand what I'm saying, especially around soul contracts. So thank you for that feedback. That's fucking awesome. But what I was actually going to ask you was, would you like to do a past life reading today? I would be more than happy to do one for you if you would like one. Jen Marie, thanks for the heart me flex, dude. YouTheBomb.com. I appreciate you. Claire let me do her soul design report the other day, and I love doing them. They're so much fun. If people asked me what are my like 2 favorite things to do, it would probably be soul designs and the shadow alchemy sessions. Those have been super cool to see people grow. I got feedback from someone the other day who just started their energetic hygiene like a week ago. Well, probably 2 weeks ago now. Really like jumped into classes and shadow work and all these things. And you know, they just told me the other day, like, I'm sleeping so much better. I feel so much better. You know, I have noticed these changes, and I just love being able to see people take that power back, especially when they never thought that they could like get to that point. So shout out to every single one of you who are like doing the damn thing, you know, because it really is like, it really is cool to see. So if you're someone who's like, what are all these things? Check out Soul Designs. It's either, if you're someone who's a part of Soul Sanctuary, you get one, or you can grab the Soul Designs on the private booking link. And I also have them split separately. So if you only want the soul contracts, or if you only want the human design portion, you can get either one or the other. Girl, thank you for lighting up the hearts. YouTheBomb.com. Okay, Claire. Hey, Claire, before we jump into this reading, can I ask you a question? Have I pulled an oracle card for you from the Mystic Islands deck yet? Because I feel like that's the one I want to pull it from. Okay. All right. So before we do your past life reading, I'm gonna pull you a oracle from this deck. So I really love this deck. Shout out Mike. Mike got me this deck a couple weeks ago, and this deck calls me out so bad. Some days it gave me the same card 4 days, telling me to watch my mouth. So one thing I really love about this card quite a bit is she describes the tradition that the cards come from, and then the wisdom that comes with it. And it's all from Javanese culture in Indonesia, and it's super, super cool. So, all right, let's see. What do we got for Claire? And then we're going to do Claire's past life reading. Claire, this is the slander card. Hello, Rain. All right. Let's see. So I'm going to read you the tradition first, and then I'm going to jump to the wisdom. Rangda, the demonic manifestation of the feared witch, Kalon Arang, lived with her daughter. Because of her mother's status, nobody wanted to marry her, which saddened Kalon. In her desperation, she turned to the goddess Durga and asked her to curse the village, causing floods and sickness. The news of the destruction reached the king, who then sent his sage to destroy the witch. The sage schemed his way into a marriage proposal, which appeased Kalon, and she threw them a big wedding party. While Kalon was asleep, the sage convinced his bride to show him where her mother kept her spellbook. When she woke up, Kalon was angered to find that her spellbook had been stolen, and realizing that the whole marriage was a trick, so she prepared herself for battle. If you have pulled this card, be wary of those you trust, because someone might have been slandering your name. It takes time to step back and assess the situation instead of reacting out of anger. You might feel that the whole world is conspiring against you, but you mustn't let yourself think what you've abandoned. You have the power to be your own voice of reason. If perhaps you have reacted in a certain way and have said something that made the situation worse, acknowledge this and then rise above it. Forgive yourself for any shortcomings and conjure the strength to carry on. Girl did it. See, this deck, like I'm telling you, this deck has no problem in calling anybody out. None. We're going to do Claire's past life reading. So if you're someone who's just coming in, hello, it's nice to meet you. We're going to jump into a past life reading. So I'm going to shut the viewer wishes off just so people don't get mad at me. And then I'm going to go like this, reading in progress. And then I'm going to put it right on my head so that people can't tell me that they don't see it. Actually, here, I'm going to go like this. Boom. Now you know that you can see it, and I know you can, and you can't tell me that you can't. Okay. Claire, you're a gift. Every single one of you are. I always appreciate when you guys allow me in your energy. Don't forget, if you're someone who has been looking for a shadow work roadmap, the podcast came out today about that. Okay, Claire, can I come visit? Can I come visit? Okay. You've been having something going on with the middle of your back. I'm supposed to tell I broke down the spine in the podcast episode last night, if you're curious. Okay. The only other thing I'm going to say before I jump to the next layer, Claire, is there's something, we're restricting something. We're restricting our, like, I get the impression that someone is making you feel small, or it has you feeling small, and so you have like closed off your expression of something. Like, I don't know, like they gave you a weird reaction to something and now you're like closed-lipped about it. And you're not expressing, or it's making you second guess yourself. Just sit with that, because it's kind of in a weird spot. It's like between your heart and your throat, but I feel it pumping up. It's like there's a resistance flow. But I feel like it's more specifically around like one person. So, okay, next. I don't know if leopards have significance to you, Claire, at all, or there's any type of spirit animal ancestral work you've done with a leopard, but that was like the first thing I saw when I just came in here. Hold on. So, okay, this is what I would call not an indigenous lifetime, but a tribal community lifetime. That's like the best impression that I can easily give. And so there is like, there are places in this community where it's like more dry, and there's like mud is something really significant. It's like clay. That's the other best way I can describe it. And then there's other spaces where it's like lush green. You in this lifetime, I wish I could like show you. So you're a woman. You have very short hair. There's some kind of, it's like dried flowers or twigs that you have like in a headband or something around your head. You also have on, it's like, it's not a toga, but it's the easiest way I can describe it, of like colorful cloth. And then you have like a staff that's taller than you that you seem to consistently walk with. The other thing that I really want to stress in this lifetime is your animal connection, because you are consistently with animals in this timeline. Like, what's really interesting is that this community seems to work with the animals that are in it versus working against them or like resisting it. I also get like, there's a spiritual significance here to your connection to animals. I'm going to go out on an even further limb that I think this is something that is a channel that will eventually open for you to be able to further your contact with animals in this current timeline. Because I'm looking right at a spirituality-ish soul cycle where animals are really like a prevalent thing. Your relationship with animals. In this lifetime, you spend more time with animals than you do with people. Like, you care for the animals of the community and also the animals that are like wild. I also wouldn't be surprised if in this timeline you are a barefoot person, because you're consistently have bare feet when I'm looking at you right now. That's like a trend I see in past lives, where if I go into your past life and you're walking around barefoot, I can nearly guarantee that you're still a barefoot person and you would rather like not have something on your feet. Light is something that's very significant in this timeline. Like, specifically to sunrise and sunset, like those are very specific, important times for you. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if you're someone who feels invigorated at both of those times of the day. It's something you don't want to miss. It's something you always want to be a part of. And there's some, in this timeline, there was an energetic significance to it. Like, I almost get like there's like offerings or something that you did, because I see you at nighttime like bringing something to the place that you would go, because I see you continually going to this one, it's like off the beaten path, like your own little clearing. What else is really strange is there's like a big mountain. Like, it's like you have the perfect view of this big mountain, and wherever this is, the very tip of the mountain has snow. Like, it's very like it's high, like super high. But beneath it, it doesn't really make sense to seeing the snow. I wouldn't be super shocked if you have a weird, like not a weird, but more of an aversion to reptiles over mammals too. Okay, this is super funny. This is a hermit lifetime. Like, I don't know how else to say this. You were a part of a community, but damn, you didn't spend time with anybody. All you did was care for the animals, like go and exist in nature as being, you know, in these relationships and communication that you had gained, and like your insights came from them. You spent all your time in nature. It was very rare that you actually interacted with people in the community. What I will tell you is there's no children for you in this lifetime. There's no nothing. Like, you were so focused on your own internal world and your connection to basically nature, God, and animals as everything being one, that was your main focus. I asked if you've seen this timeline before, and they keep showing me this, like, you're in your place that you would go, and you're looking up at this mountain, and I'm telling you, it's like there's like it's not desert, but it's dry, and it's like rainforest and dry, and if you look up, the mountain goes so high that it just at the top is snow crested, and you, wherever you sit and do these, like, your daily, you know, meditation, just being present stuff, you have like a perfect view of it. I almost get like there's some kind of like importance to it, like a belief system of this tribe or community that existed, particularly around it. Okay, the last thing I'm going to say before I come out of here is this. If you wanted to work on this channel, you would open up more things specifically to your, like, communicating with animals, understanding animals. This would be kind of a channel you could access to reopen those things. But I hope you know that it's something you definitely have done. It's something that you just need to remember if you're ever interested in doing it. Other thing I'm going to tell you too before I leave is make sure that in this timeline you are mitigating your hermit time and your social time. And that you're not just like completely cutting yourself off from society to go hide. Okay, 1 second. I got goosebumps that whole time for some reason. My goodness. Claire! That was super cool. I love doing past life readings. I'm a big fan of them. Get it. Support that. But I think if you wanted to start with your birds, Claire, I think that would be a good place to start if you wanted to. I think that would be a great place to start. Bum, bum, bum. Oh, I also have to, I'm supposed to ask you a weird question. You're so welcome. Claire, do you wear an anklet? Do you know what I mean by an anklet? Hello, Monica. Thanks for the heart me. All right, I have to get this out before I lose it. I don't know if you wear an anklet, but there's something I'm supposed to tell you about an anklet. It looks like it's like small white beads, but the other thing that I like, there's a hamsa on it. So I don't know, like, no, there's something very, like, there's something, I don't know. I feel like it's like there's small white. Okay. Can I ask you something? Was that like a protection thing? And since then, have you gotten another one? Like, I just feel very specific about, like, protection left body side. Okay, all right. So I am just gonna don't shoot the messenger. There's something to do that with wearing your protection jewelry on the left side of your body. I'm supposed to tell you that, and then also get another one. Okay, get another one. They would like you to get another one. And I'm supposed to talk to you about setting some intentions to it. So yeah, there you go. That's your spirit guide message of the day. That was so, as I like got out of your past life, they were like, look at that. Show her that. So, there you go. That's perfect. You're so welcome, Claire. Thanks for letting me come into your lifetime. Oh, I hope everyone is having an absolutely beautiful day. We have 3 reading spots, whether you want to do a past life reading or you want to do something different. They're $22 hairs or whatever's up on the viewer wishes. I have to pull them back up. The new podcast episode came out today. It's a roadmap to start doing shadow work if that's something that you're interested in. And we're going to do some collective energy work here in a little bit too. So if you're someone who wants to be a part of that, feel free to hang out. I think that energy work's going to involve some grounding stuff and some heart things as well. Jen Marie! Thanks for the galaxy globe. That was fucking pretty. Pretty, pretty, pretty. You're so welcome. Monica, would you like your oracle card? Jen, would you like a talisman pull? Okay, you got it. Ooh. What's everybody up to today? Anything fun and exciting? All right, you got it. All right, I'm going to do Monica's because I have this deck in my hand, and then I'm going to do your talisman. Do. All right, let's see. That felt chaotic. Hold on. Definitely. 1 second. Monica, do you have time to hang out for the collective energy work if I do it in the next 10 minutes? Okay. Monica, left or right? I see a theme today. I see a theme. This is the frog spirit of renewal. Ribbit, ribbit, ribbit. There's a frog theme today. I hope everybody sees it. All right, let's see. The frog's 3 stages of development symbolize renewal, resurrection, and transformation. This card speaks of a profound restoration of your life that's occurring, and it's never too late to begin again. If your past was less than successful, remember this is what has occurred does not mandate what will occur. You can start out fresh and new. However, if you do what you've always done, you will get what you've always gotten. So in order to reboot your life, you need to do things in a different way. Abounding good luck is activated and awaiting you. Dude, okay, so maybe we all need to focus on frogs today. I see a theme. Monica, that was fabulous. Welcome to the Frog Club. Hello, Kai. Okay. Let's see, Jen Marie, what do I got? So I have 3 reading spots left for the day, whether you want to do spirit guide messages, past life reading, whatever's clever. And then don't forget, soul designs are up, and so are shadow alchemy sessions. And Ember's on a 7-day free trial if you want to check it out and come hang out with us. Next week is the workshop to strengthen your trust and your intuition for my Patreon peeps. What do I got for Jen Marie today? Jen, this is the good luck card. You're welcome. Luck is with you and with everything you touch. Thanks for the heart me. This is a very positive card that indicates growth and increased potential. The currents are in your favor, and if you act upon your wishes, you'll benefit greatly. It's up to you to channel the good fortune. The circles on the card form the number 8, and 8 is an auspicious number and a symbol of new beginnings. Fate will take a strong hand and redirect your faith in a very positive way. What you do after this shift is on your own hands. January. That sounds like a pretty good one to me. Kai, I would like to pull you an oracle card if you would like one. After I pull this oracle card, we're going to do some collective energy work. If you were someone who would like to be a part of it, just feel free to hang out. All right, let's see. You're welcome. Thanks for being you. And don't forget, if you're someone who is interested in a shadow work beginner's roadmap, feel free to check out today's podcast episode. All right, what do I got for Kai today? Kai, this is the joy card. Rain! Thanks for the heart me. Open your heart to celebration and fun. Who told you that you need to suffer to grow? Your soul expands in leaps and bounds through following your bliss and expressing your love. Embrace life, yourself, and others in the moment. If you've been waiting until circumstances are different before you allow yourself to experience joy, you may have a long wait. Always changing if you don't follow your bliss. Now, then when will you? Jen Marie, I think that was you. Was that you? I think it was. Your purpose in life is to experience joy. Take steps now that will protect your boundaries. You don't need to do everything all at once, but you do need to start. Happiness spreads to others like wildfire and can help heal the world. Although hummingbirds are small, they're capable of traveling great distances, and they can even fly backwards. Their presence is a reminder that life is not just about reaching the destination. It's about the joy of the journey. It was. Hello, Mama B. I don't remember if I said hi to you or not, but hello. Thanks for hanging out with me. Okay, Jen Marie, is it okay with you if we do the collective energy? Monica, thanks for the donuts. Is it okay with you if we do the collective energy work first, and then we'll go into your past life reading? Okay, perfect. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, so we're going to do some collective energy work for people who are interested. So you don't have to do anything special. You just need to set the intention that you're accepting it and allowing me in your energy. That is all. If you do not want me in your energy, I just ask that you scroll on by. You're so welcome, Kai. This is probably going to be about, I don't know, 5-ish minutes maybe. I do want to ask a question. Is there anybody who has never had energy work done with me before? Because if so, I would like to just explain a couple things to you. Okay, hello Kelly, nice to meet you. All right, so the way that I do my energy work is this. I do not do Reiki. I am not someone who is Reiki anything. I use what I would call quantum and galactic, if I had to put a name on it. That's why I call the work that I do etheric work. It's things I've learned from my guides and some other people along the way, and I've made it my own. So I use a lot of guides to help me step forward, to help me do this energy work with you guys. And so a couple things. One, if you're someone who's never had healing over 5D, you're going to notice a couple things. One, you might get a big rush of emotions that are stuck, like having to let them out. You might cry. You also might start burping. You might start yawning. You might start needing to take some deep breaths. All normal stuff. Our bodies process energy in different ways. I will walk you through things that you may feel as this is happening. If you don't feel it, it doesn't mean it's not working. It just means we're clearing some stuff to get you more present in your body. And then the other thing I will ask you to do is, if you partake in this energy work that we're about to do, I would ask you to just make sure you stay hydrated over the next couple days. There's about a 48-hour integration process to doing this type of energy work. And also, if after we do this, you feel like you need to go take a nap, go take a nap. whatever works for you. All right, with the goosebumps. Okay, so this is what I'm going to ask you to do. We're going green, I guess. So what I would ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to imagine that I am standing on the right hand side of you. I have one hand over your chest like this, and my other hand is directly parallel to this one just behind your back. I'm not touching you. There's probably, I don't know, 3 inches between my hand and your hand. Well, and your chest, okay? Out of my hand is coming this really, really pretty emerald green light. When I ask you to close your eyes and take a deep breath in with me, I would like you to imagine that you are pulling that same really pretty emerald green light from the bottom of your twinkle toes all the way up to the top of your head. Okay, so if that sounds good to you, I'm going to ask you guys to, actually, you know what I'm going to do for the very first time in my life? I'm shutting the frickin' comments off if I can figure out how to do it. So that way, nobody has to monitor anything. Nobody has to worry about anything at all. Look at that. That's beautiful, if I do say so myself. Now the mods can just exist. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to close our eyes. And I just want you to notice how you feel in your body right now before we begin. Do you feel heavy? Do you feel heavier on one side than the other? Are you hot? Are you cold? Just take note of how it feels to be present in your body. So what I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to ask you to take that deep breath in through your nose. Hold it. And let it go. You're going to start to feel a big rush of energy at the bottom of your feet, and it's going to go up into your belly. Don't try to guide it, just let it go wherever it needs to go. You're going to feel some pressure up into your throat, and you might get a quick drop in your belly. Going to feel some pressure in the back of your heart space. Big rush of energy from your belly to your groin and out your feet. You might start to get some extra spit in your mouth. I promise it'll pass. You're going to feel some pressure in your mouth that's going to make its way all the way down and out your feet. Another big rush of energy in your chest. what I would like you guys to imagine is this. I'd like you to imagine that in the center of your chest is this beautiful gold light. Every time you are taking a breath in, that light is getting bigger and bigger until it completely envelops you in a shield. And what I'm going to invite you to do is to take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold it and let it go. And now the last thing I would like you to do is imagine that you're looking at an energetic outline of your body. Off of that outline is coming all different kinds of cords. Some are thick, some are thin, some are different colors. I would like you to imagine that you have a really sharp object and that you're cutting through every single one of those cords that are hanging off. Once you have done that, I would like you to take that sharp object and then draw a line in the sand between the cords you cut from yourself and the ones that are hanging off of everybody else. And in doing this, you are making the determination of, this is my energy and that is your energy. And then once you have done that, I'm going to invite you to slowly wiggle your fingers and toes and open your eyeballs and come back to me and tell me how you feel. Hello everybody, Sandy, thanks for the heart me. Right? The yawns. Exactly. And you know what? If you guys do have the space to go take a nap, feel free to do so. You're so welcome. Yeah, sometimes that'll happen. And coughing is a way to get some of that out. I remember I had someone do energy work on me and he looked at me and he was like, "Can you clear your throat, please?" I was like, "Yeah, sure." Good. I love that. You're all so welcome. Yeah, sometimes we need to just do like having this is gonna sound weird, but having like a devotional disciplined practice to actively set intentions to clear and work through your energy is super important. It really is about maintaining it and keeping up on cleansing. Claire, you're so welcome, my friend. Thank you all for hanging out with me. Okay, so I do have 2 reading spots left if you want to do past lives or something else. We're going to do Jen Marie's past life reading as long as she's ready for me to come visit. Hello, Dinky. Yeah, that's all you, boo. Nope, me. Okay, Jen Marie, I'm coming over. I'm changing my sticker again. Okay. All right, Jen Marie, I'm coming over there. Jen, do you have to pee? sorry. 1 second. That was super funny because I was like, wait a minute. I literally know that that's not me. Like, I know it isn't. Okay, Jen, this, if I had to guess, is like during an industrial period, because what's really interesting is I see you small in this lifetime. Like I came in when you were like a child, and so there's a couple things. One, I can tell that this is a big family. You have 2 parents who looks like they really love each other quite a bit. You have a ton of brothers and sisters. I think poverty is something that was like extremely prevalent in this timeline. Like, I think there were days where there wasn't enough food for the family. You have on this, so I should tell you that you have like dirty blonde hair, but there's like red highlights in it. And you have it in pigtails, and you have like bright blue eyes, and you have on like it's like a nightgown, but it's kind of like dirt, like not dirty, it's like dingy. Like, I can tell that it's worn like quite a bit. And when I look outside, like, and I get to see you like interacting outside, it's dirty out there. Like, coal feels very prevalent. Like, this is time when like coal, like a coal, like there's a lot of industry. Like, I'm looking at like a dirty, smelly, old town. Things are still made of like big, like bulky stone. Like, there's still cobblestone streets type of thing. It just looks like this is like a big period of growth, whatever time it is. I also have to say that when I look further, you didn't live past 24. I also feel like that someone took your life. Like, it wasn't, okay, there's a soul cycle of power and control here. So, one thing, what I'm going to say is this, is make sure in this timeline you're not allowing people to kind of make decisions for you, that you still have autonomy and body autonomy. Because truthfully, what it looks like is, it looks like this person who took your life was someone you were like, I don't know, like an acquaintance with or something. And you weren't the only person that this happened to. Like, I get the impression that he did this multiple times to multiple different young women. The other thing too is, I keep getting like that you were someone who was afraid of your own shadow in this lifetime. Like, you would do everything the way you're supposed to. You didn't want to disappoint anybody. Your whole life was lived to making sure that you lived up to everyone's expectations and you helped everybody. Like, I get the impression you went to work early to like help with the family. I also get the impression that you were the eldest. This is also, I feel it's like a 2-bedroom, like, it's not a shack, but it's like a 2-bedroom. There's like the kitchen, the main room, and then like there's 1 bedroom. And there's just kind of people everywhere that they could put them. One thing I do want to say is, even though this may not be like there's so much love in this timeline. Like, even though this family like didn't have all these things and they weren't really well off, like, they loved the love and care that went for each other. I also get the impression that your mom was sick in this lifetime, and you helped care for her towards the end, because she passed before you did. The other thing too that I want to say that I have seen you do a couple times is like journaling or like writing things down. You were someone who liked to learn things too in this timeline, but a lot of that was put on the back burner because you had to help kind of feed the family, essentially. So here's another thing. In looking at soul cycles, just make sure that you're not over giving of your hopes and dreams, like letting them go to support other people's. Because in this timeline, you had so many aspirations, so many things you wanted to do, but you were too busy caring for everyone and giving for your family that you never got to do these things. Like, your dreams and aspirations were just on the back burner. So make sure in this timeline, like, if there are things that you want to do, you know, like if there are dreams you have or aspirations you have, if someone tells you they're stupid, if that's not your belief, then don't listen to it. Chase after the things that interest you and what your passions are. And if that's something you're struggling to connect back into, just sit and write down, what are the things that I'm passionate about? What do I love to do? And just make sure you don't lose yourself in service to others. The other thing I want to say is, hold on, I don't know how to accurately say this word. I just see a line that there's a fear of failure attached to certain things, and I just want to make you aware of that, so that if you feel it coming up in this timeline, that you can take note of it. Okay, give me a second. Well, that was interesting. Okay, hold on. You're so welcome. So the power went out. The power just said, goodbye. Have a great day. Oh, okay, that kind of jumped me a little bit. I don't know. That was weird. Jemery, thanks for letting me in your energy, my friend. Vixter, thanks for the TikTok love. Also, thanks for the manifesting. Let me do your talisman pull. I hope you guys can still hear me. My phone changed over. Yeah, the power went out. I don't know if that was really good timing. As soon as the reading ended, the power decided it also was done. All right, let's see. All right, Vixter, what do we got, my friend? So I do still have 2 reading spots left today. If you're someone who wants to do a past life reading, you want to listen to what your spirit guides have to say. They're 22 doll hairs or whatever is listed on the viewer wishes. And then also a podcast episode came out today about the groundwork to starting shadow work. All right, Vixter, what do we got? What do we got? Vixter, this is the change card. It's got a chameleon on it. Is that a chameleon? I think it is. All right, let's see. New experiences will bring excitement to your life. You will be taking a risk or an unknown step forward, but listen to your intuition and follow the process of change. The chameleon feels no need to rush. The best opportunity lies ahead and waiting for you. So don't make mistakes because don't fear making mistakes because they present opportunities to grow and learn something new. Acknowledge that it's a time of progress and don't waste your time fighting the move. The seed of life behind the chameleon represents the unity of all aspects of your life. This change will bring cumulative fulfillment, so be ready to embrace the unknown and enjoy the adventure ahead of you. Vixter, that was fabulous. Thanks for letting me pull it for you. Also, I saw Rebecca. Rebecca, would you like your oracle card? I'd be more than happy to pull it for you. What's everybody up to today? Anything fun and exciting? Sorry the power went out. That just got me all discombobulated. Honestly. That was like the last thing I expected. And it was just quick. It was super quick. Okay, let's see. Dun, dun. Oh, okay. Kai, congratulations, my friend. That's fabulous. You're so welcome. Thank you for being patient with me. Rebecca, this is the Toadstool's Growth card. Lots of themes. It's also number 44 if you've been seeing that. Things that have been incubating beneath the surface are going to be coming to fruition. Get clear on your goals and your dreams because rapid growth is ahead. Be ready for these projects to come to fruition. You must first be starkly honest about what you want and ask yourself, is this what I really want? Believe in miracles. Also, in the time ahead, you might discover a spiritual guru or step onto a new spiritual path. You might find that you're providing expansive spiritual growth for others simply by being who you are. Make sure that your foundations are in place because once this growth begins, you will be in for a journey of a lifetime. Yeah, and Frogs and Toads has really been up today. Thanks for the paper crane. Jenny, thank you for that. YouTheBomb.com. I've also caught a lot of fours. I've been catching a lot of synchronicity at a time too. So I do have 2 reading spots today. If you would like them, they're for past lives or spirit guides or energy work, whatever you would like. I also want to remind you that the new podcast episode came out today. And it's basically a building blocks framework to starting your own shadow work. I also feel like tomorrow, I'm going to ask you guys what you want, but I think tomorrow we should either do a little guided meditation here or we should do some mediumship. Whatever you guys think. Dude, that was also, hey Stacy, frogs were the talisman pull for Patreon today. So every day on Patreon we do a daily collective video. So if you're someone who likes those, we do them over there. The frog was there today and the dragonfly, and then everyone's been getting the frog or the toad card today. And I'm not even using the animal decks, which is even funny. I have multiple animal decks. This isn't one of them. So I just think that's hilarious to me. Thank you for the popular Stacy. And then also the other thing I want to talk about is soul designs. I've been doing a lot of them lately. You get one when you join Soul Sanctuary, or you can sign up for them in the private booking link. And I find them to be super helpful. If you're someone who wants to kind of understand why you're built the way you're built and how to work with it and what your soul contracts are, feel free to check them out. It's about a 7.5-page report that I do to really kind of tell you why you're built this way and how to work with it. And I try to make it digestible in a way that you can understand without having to read through a bunch of hoopla. Jen Marie. Howdy, partner. Thanks for lighting up the hat and the mustache. I do have a question. Are there any super fans in here who have been waiting for their Oracle card who hasn't had one yet? And I would be, if people have questions, please feel free to ask them. Whether you have questions about your spirit guides, doing your own energy work, where to get started on things, you have questions about things that I do, you have questions about readings, please feel free to ask me. And I would be more than happy to answer them. If you're someone who wants to learn how to do some of these things on your own, a lot of the 99% of the classes are over in Patreon. And don't forget, soul sessions are now, shadow alchemy sessions are now available, where we do a private one-on-one where we hang out together for about an hour and we go through your energy field to find trapped emotions, restrictions, blockages, all that stuff. And then we work together to clear them, and through it, you build the skills to start doing it on your own. Hi, Nikki, how are you? Thanks for the heart me. Bum, bum. Okay, is there any super fans who have not had their Oracle card yet? I would be more than happy to pull one for you. Yeah, the shadow alchemy sessions have been really like, they've been so, I've watched so many people just have so many aha moments in the sessions. And I offer one session, or you can bundle it if you're someone who feels like you would like to do more than one. And through those sessions, it's not just me doing the work for you, it's me helping you through it while you start to build the skills and understanding to go off and keep doing it on your own. So I've really been saying, if you're someone who's ready to like deep dive in, you feel like you keep getting the same patterns, you keep hitting the same walls, then the shadow session might be for you. They've been super fun, super eye-opening, I think, too, in a lot of ways. And sometimes what I notice too is in doing those, sometimes it's easier to understand some of the messages your guides have, because I know sometimes I tell people stuff their guides have to say, and then they're like, that doesn't make sense. And then if we do a deep dive, it makes a ton of sense. So that's why I always say it's cool to do live readings, but if you're really looking to do like an in-depth reading, the reports or the private booking link is really the place to be. Even Patreon if you're a soul session person, for Soul Sanctuary. I am fabulous. Thank you for asking. It's been a beautiful day. I hope everyone's having a beautiful Friday. We had a new podcast episode today. We did some collective energy work a little bit ago. I got 2 reading spots left if you're someone who wants to do spirit guide messages, past life readings, whatever that may be. And then I'm also here to answer questions if you have questions about energy in general. If you see something that you don't understand, you've had an experience that you want to talk through, I am more than welcome to sit here and chat about it with you. There is no such thing as a dumb question, okay? The belief that there is a dumb question keeps people without the knowledge. And so there really is never a dumb question. If you have a question, just ask me. And I promise that if I don't know the answer, I will find it for you, or I will find somebody who does. And I will also tell you to, how do I say this? Be kind to yourself and give yourself grace. Because a lot of the things we talk about here are deconstructing belief systems. And so people are at different levels of doing that, and there's no shame in that. Thank you guys for all the tippy tapping. And thank you guys for helping me light up the gift gallery. TikTok's really made some changes in that. It's been strange. And then, what else? Oh, movie night. We had a tie for the movie night vote. So I'm going to ask a question. Would you guys like another poll to vote for which goes first, or do you want to just do one this week and one next week? Claire, thanks for the crane, my friend. You the bomb.com. Also, if you're someone who's in Patreon, the workshop is next week, and it's about strengthening the trust in your intuition. So if you're someone who's been looking to build up that foundation, that's what we're going to work on in the workshop next week. And then don't forget, Ether Office Hours is every Wednesday if you're someone who wants to practice your mediumship or your energy work. This week, we had people practice reading past lives and doing energy work. So it was super fun. If you're someone who wants to sign up for that, just let me know. I posted about it between the Discord and the Patreon. Everybody's so quiet today. What are we doing? Is anyone doing anything exciting? Kai, did the first part of that get filtered, or am I just squirreling? Might be squirreling. I'm not shocked. I'm not shocked by that, ma'am. The feng shui. I do. So I just changed how I do oracle cards. So I pull oracle cards for people who are super fans, and I've also started pulling oracle cards for the Mystic Tea, and I still pull them as I feel called to. But I stopped doing them for Heart Me's just because I was doing too many of them back to back and I wasn't able to like actively interact and talk to people. Yes, for the movie. That was my question. Thank you. You the bomb, Kai. Now I get it. God, see, I told you I was doing the squirrel. I told you I was doing it. Oh, actually, Nikki, would you like a talisman though? Because I feel like I would like to pull you one. Kai, look at you and your 500 comments. Jen Marie, did you just sign up for a soul design? Did you? Is that what I just saw with my eyeballs? Okay. Girl, get it? I'm excited. I have so much fun doing these soul designs. So if you're someone who's interested in them, you just let me know. Whatever time you book it for is around the time it shows up in your email. It more than likely will probably, depending on when you do it, it'll probably show up sooner than that. But that is by the time it will show up. I'm so excited. I just can't. Hey, Jen Marie, let me ask you a question. Hold on. I just want to verify something with you. 1 second. Did you sign up for just the contracts? Because I know I've already done your other one. So I want to make sure I'm reading that right, because I think you did. So I just want to make sure. Just contracts. Because I know I've done your human design one. Okay. All right. Because I know I've done your human design report before. I know I have. I think you were one of the first people I did. Okay. I love soul contracts. If you're someone who also wants to know about what your soul contracts are, feel free. They really help us understand a lot about ourselves. Jen Marie, the only thing I need you to do for your soul contracts is this. I need you to send me a private DM on Discord with your entire name as it's written on your birth certificate. And then if you changed your last name when you got married, I need to know the year that you changed it and what you changed your last name to. Does that make sense? So if you're ever someone who books a soul design with me or soul contracts with me, I need your entire name as it's written on your birth certificate. And if you name changed at any time, I need to know when you name changed and what you name changed to, so that I can do the overlay portion of it. Okay. Perfect. Hello, Ogo. How are you? Kai, I'm just hanging. I've been doing a lot of like creativity stuff, I guess. Like I've started writing poems again. I started journaling again. I've been trying to come up with more ways to I've been trying to come up with more ways to express myself so people can understand really what the work is that I do, and really that while we can do mediumship and all these things, that's not my whole life goal. My goal is helping people connect into themselves. So I've just been kind of doing some creative stuff in the background. Oh, Nikki, happy birthday, my friend. That's fabulous. All right, let's see. What do I got for Nikki's talisman today? Nikki, this is the Balanced Emotions talisman. Let's see. Jellyfish are graceful creatures that trust the ocean currents to take them to their destination. Take a moment to evaluate the way you spend your energy. Sometimes we cannot see the grand picture and we get caught up in the moment. If we're unable to see the lesson a situation is teaching us, we can get entangled in our emotions and the need for control. Are you holding on too tightly to feelings that don't serve you well? It's easier to see the solution when you feel calmer, so find a peaceful place in your home or outside where you can spend some time allowing your emotions to exist without judgment. Take a breath, acknowledge them, and let go of those that no longer support you. I am gentle with my feelings is the affirmation. Kai, it's so worth it. It's honestly, there's shadow work to opening creativity. There really is. Oh, Mama B, thank you, my friend. Thanks for hanging out with me, truthfully. It's always an honor when you guys spend time and hang out with me. So thank you, thank you, thank you for that. You guys are the bomb. It's much appreciated. You're so welcome, Nikki. Happy early birthday, my friend. Happy early birthday. Also, don't forget, I did change all of the guided meditation recordings on Patreon, so they are $11 each. So if you're someone who would like to go do some of the newer ones, feel free. The other thing that I am going to do too is some of the older guided meditations I'm going to make available for the Ember people. So stay tuned if you're an Ember person. I'm going to open it up to give you guys some more guided meditations. And what else am I missing? Oh, and then Monday is the first live stream over on Patreon for people to get their readings and energy work. Mama B, do you want a Sacred Forest card? I'd be happy to pull one for you if you'd like one. Dinky, did we do your Oracle card today too? And I also got 2 reading spots left, so if you're someone who wants to do past lives, spirit guides, energy work, whatever it is, they're available for $22 or whatever's over here in the viewer wishes. You got it, Mama B. Let's see. Let's see. What do we got? This is the Crystal Cave Trust card. Is it? I think I screwed the pooch in that department. Yep, you're right. Tuesday is the first day for readings. I screwed the pooch there. Caves have long been considered secret passageways to sacred powers and forces. Certain shamanic initiations occurred in caves because they were thought to be places where your intuition could be activated. The appearance of this card is a message to believe in your intuition no matter where it takes you. Have faith in yourself and know that you're divinely guided even when you have doubts. Trust your feelings about others and about situations. You're exactly where you need to be. Trust is the foundation of the ability to manifest. Everything was created because someone believed that it was possible, and patience is absolutely crucial in the application of this principle. Change can happen in a heartbeat, but some things require time. Please be patient and know that it'll happen. Whatever receives your care and attention will flourish, so believe. You've planted your seeds, so now give them time to grow. Girl, what kind of reading are we doing? That was a good one, Mama B. Thanks for letting me pull it. Right back, 2 seconds. Okay, I saw your note. That's what I was trying to read, was what your note was. You're so welcome, Mama B. So welcome. Okay. Bum bum. All right. I'm going to actually change this to... All right, Nikki, can I come over and be nosy, please? And I know I've been slacking on uploading to YouTube. I promise with this live stream I'm going to get back to it. But also remember, I took a week off a live stream, so that's also why there weren't many. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'm just going to tell you the first couple things that set off for me. You right. Your lower back. I hit to the middle of your back, but it's the middle, it's your sacral chakra, because it's the back of your sacral chakra. And then we're up to your, then you also have this space. It feels to me like it's the back of your heart space. So there's foundational stuff going on at the bottom. I feel like you're giving your power away somewhere. And then when we go into the back of your sacral chakra, there are some things that are, there's resistance to some things. Feels like it's personal relationship related. There's just a disconnect. There's also like, there's something about financial security down here. Like receiving. Like there's a receiving difficulty. Yeah, and then I also feel like, one second, it's like sacral solar, but it's the back of it. Usually most people have the whole thing lit up. It's not usually just the back. There's also, so the betrayal wound that's sitting in the back of your heart space, you would have to determine if that's your betrayal or from somebody else's. I think it goes back to childhood. I think there's also something about abandonment that's hanging out in your solar plexus that links back to childhood as well. Because I can see the cord go from your solar plexus up to the back of your heart space, which tells me it's usually a parental disconnect. I also feel like it affects the way that you express yourself, because I feel like there's a deep-seated worthiness around that wound that still exists, and it affects the way in which you express yourself and how you do. Because I think what it looks like is there are people who had no issue making you feel small, and now I feel like you kind of keep yourself a little small. Because if you were to be too big, then people would have something to say about it again. So there's that fear of. So I just asked your guides if there was something more specific that they wanted me to get into, and so okay. The way they just described this to me is coming up the left side. So you have to remember, our left side is the receiving side, and the way they explain it to me is that there was a lot of criticism in your life, Nikki, right? People had a lot to say, and now when people have helpful or supportive or things to share with you that can be helpful, it seems like it's coming through as being seen as criticism. So if you find that happening, like if you find that someone's suggesting you something, or they're recommending something, or they're giving you advice on something, if you feel like this rush up the left side of your body and it kind of feels like an attack or like they're judging you, I would ask that you would sit with it and try to track where that's coming from. Because there's like, how do I explain this? Your inner child is still trying to protect your adult you from the feelings that you experienced as a child. And so there needs to be like this way to bring them together so that they can be friends versus trying to fix one another. I also get the impression that it's hard for you to receive kindness, love, and empathy from others because it feels like there's always been a string attached to it. Learning to love ourselves is one of the hardest things we'll do, especially when other people have told us throughout time that that's selfish. You only think of yourself. You don't care about anybody else. And I just want to say that that's just a projection of the other person. Learning to come to a place of love and compassion for yourself is something that will help you grow leaps and bounds. And you need to find a safe space to express that, like somewhere safe, with safe people emotionally and physically. I also wouldn't be surprised if your hips are tight. There's just repressed stuff, like we all have, that's just hanging down there. And being able to sit and ask your body some questions like where am I afraid? What am I afraid of? And as you, like, if you're having emotional responses, finding ways to ask your body where it's coming from versus getting flustered or frustrated that it's happening, because reactions and emotions are things we'll have for our whole life. Learning how to regulate through them and process through them is where that peace comes from. I just see, Nikki, that you've beat some odds, right? Like you've overcome quite a few obstacles and beat some odds. And I now, like, the image that I keep getting is like, now it's your time for like the flower to open, right? Like, and it's like the lotus flower, right? And it grows out of the mud. So I just get the impression that like the bud is starting to pop and it's time to bloom if you're willing to let that just flow. The other thing I keep hearing is the buoyancy principle. And that's just coming into being present and knowing that the universe is supportive. God, as you see it and understand it, I personally consider God source energy. And once you start to build that trust and love within yourself, you'll be able to feel it and extend it from other places. I have to ask you something. Do you journal at all? Okay. They just keep showing me like you writing. Is that writing helping you process some things that you haven't looked like? Is it helping you change the perspective of how you look at some things? So the last thing that I am gonna say before I like completely pop all the way out, yes, perfect, is one, I really think that if you are starting to dig into that shadow work stuff, the podcast episode today might help you with the roadmap of where certain things live, right? Like where certain things are. Because I feel a ton in your groin, like your root and your sacral are like there's just density and like restriction there. Not, it's, we all move through it, and I think you're starting to be able to get that up. So there's one more thing I'm supposed to say. Hold on, I forgot it though. Shit. It's also about learning to express yourself authentically, even just to yourself, and creating that safe space within yourself. Also, the last thing, I know I keep saying one more thing. The only other thing that I really want to bring through is, if you find yourself with like free time this week, Nikki, there's an etheric working on the Patreon about the cosmic heart. That might be something that could be helpful too, especially as you're processing through some of the emotional stuff. Hello, Tanya. Sorry, there's now a fly that has like decided to be a menace to society. I don't know where it came from either. He was not in here before. Bum. Nikki, thanks for letting me in your energy, my friend. Oh. Did I pull you a talisman already by chance? Yes, I did. It was the balanced emotion one. Okay. Word. Thank you for the reminder. Thanks for letting me in your energy, my friend. That's actually funny. I didn't realize that. The other thing too that I want to say is, I'm not going to tell everybody that you need to like write or do all these things. But whatever way that you can express yourself, start to. If you struggle with communication, you struggle to understand your feelings, find a way to express it. I don't care if you journal, I don't care if you doodle, origami, paper cranes, whatever it is. But find a way to connect back into yourself as a whole. I'm going to give you a couple of reminders. Smexual energy and creativity are on the same frequency. So if you're someone who's dealing with like smexual trauma, repressed smexual things, you have issues around intimacy, or, you know, any of those other things, it's also going to hamper your creativity. Okay. If you're someone who struggles with love and receiving love, you're going to struggle to receive money. Love and money are on the same frequency. And the other thing I'm going to tell you is, if it's just go look, the people who love themselves and put time and effort and investment into themselves are usually the people who other people will compare themselves to around. Well, why do they have these things? Because they believe in themselves. It's really that simple. The more time and effort you invest in yourself versus everybody else, you'll watch how your life changes. The other thing that I really feel like not many people talk about, that I'm going to talk about now, is the more work you do on yourself, the more you love yourself, the more confidence that you get in yourself, people are going to have a problem with it, okay? And the reason is not you. The reason is because people will compare themselves to you. Misery loves company. If you have someone who is insecure about themselves, they don't like themselves, they see you confident, they see that you love yourself, that to them, that's a problem. Because, whoa, she thinks so. What does she think? She's so entitled. She thinks she's on her high horse. And it's not that at all. It's just that you're on different levels of experiences, right? So I can't tell you how, like, there are people in my family who, as I've grown, have made statements to me that I'm so full of it. All these things. And it's because I love myself and I have confidence and I share, right? That's what it is. It's not a reflection of me. It's a reflection of them. So what I will tell you is, the more you work on yourself, the more you come into connecting with yourself, it's going to piss some people off. And the reason is because your light is irritating the shit out of them, because they're still dealing with shame and guilt and all that stuff, and they can't fathom why doesn't she give a shit? Why doesn't she care what people think of her? Why doesn't she care that she doesn't have makeup on? I can't tell you, that's one that I get like all the time. I get people that send me DMs about that, like, I have no, what is it? Basically along the lines of, I have no respect for myself. I don't even put makeup on half the time. And I have to laugh, because do you know that that's the complete opposite for me? I used to have to wear eyeliner and eyeshadow every day. Like if I was literally just going to Walmart or Walgreens, I would have to put makeup on. And it wasn't for anybody else. It was for me. I saw it as my armor, like something that I had to do to be me and be portrayed and perceived properly. And over time, I realized that that's just not fucking accurate at all. I actually would rather not, one, I don't like I have never been a big makeup person. It's just eye stuff. And two, I would rather just be my authentic who I am, you know? Don't get me wrong. I still like put makeup on every now and then, but I definitely don't need to do it every day. And I definitely don't have to do it to go to the store. So the more that you invest in yourself, the more time you spend working on yourself, it's going to piss people off. And you're going to lose friends. You're going to lose family. And it's because sometimes you just get to a different part of the mountain that someone doesn't want to climb to, okay? And you can't see the potential in everybody. I'm really going to stress this again. You cannot see the potential in everybody because they don't see it in themselves. And I am someone who stood at the bottom of a mountain for the longest time trying to drag a donkey up it. I swear to God, I stood at the bottom of the mountain yanking on this donkey's face. Will you get up the mountain? Why can't you get up there? I know you have feet. Go. And I didn't climb the mountain for years because I was too busy dragging this jackass up it. And guess what? The jackass didn't even think that the mountain existed in the first place. So this is why I'll always tell people, climb the mountain. And then once you're up there, then you can help other people up. It ain't your job to escort anybody. You're not the Sherpa of the mountain, right? But there's enough room at the top for everybody. But guess what? Not everybody wants to get to the top of the mountain. I had to learn that for myself. Not everybody wants to be the best version of themselves. Not everybody wants to do these things. So sometimes one of the saddest things that I've ever done was leave that jackass at the bottom of the mountain. It really was. And I went through a whole roller coaster of emotions. I was abandoning the donkey. How could I do that? The donkey, I was terrible, that poor donkey, I'm calling PETA, blah, 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 blah. But at the end of the day, what about the donkey who refused to get up? What about that? Because you watched while everyone stood by and waited for you to fucking walk forward. But you didn't care about that. You didn't care about how that affected the rest of the world, right? So that's why I'll always tell people, one of the greatest things you can do to show someone you love them is leave them. Because love isn't unconditional through your shitty behavior. That's just not what it is. And sometimes we can love someone who isn't willing to love themselves and they won't go. And they don't see the mountain. It's blind. It don't exist. Or they'll look at it and tell you it isn't there. And so, I've left a lot of people on the mountainside climbing up it. And it's not that I abandoned anybody. It's not anything. It's just they weren't ready to get up it. So I hope you all know that you can't save anybody. And sometimes the greatest gift you can give to yourself and to others is to leave them. Because they have to learn consequences. And not everybody's gonna just bend over and accept your inability, you know? Everybody deserves to grow and learn and shine. And there's room at the top for everybody. There's room for everybody. I can't tell you how many people I've thrown a life rope to and they just won't pick it up. And you can't, I do that in my work every day. I have people who come to me that, you know, they're stuck in a rut. They're repeating the same cycles. They've been doing the same things for years and it's not working. And I'll say, okay, here is how you get started to change that. And they'll look at the rope and go, you know, I just can't do that. I'm allergic to rope. It's not the right color rope. I don't think I'll like that rope in another foot. And I've just watched so many people just blindly stare at it. And they won't pick it up. Like, if I told you that you making the decision to invest in your self-worth would change your life drastically and it's free, do you know how many people go, that's not the rope for me, man. That's not it. There's just something wrong with that rope. Hello, Dawn. So, don't ever hold on to someone for the potential you see in them, because they might never see it. And I did that for a really long time. I used to tell somebody verbatim, I'll believe in you until you believe in yourself. That day never came. Never came. Never was going to come. Never. Was never going to happen. Ever. And then the other thing I want to remind you of is, why would somebody grow if you do everything for them? They won't. Yeah, people are really tough. People are really tough. So, I hope you all know that it really is worth it to invest in yourself. And I don't mean money, I mean time and effort. The time and effort that you spend getting to learn someone's favorite color, the time and effort you spend trying to figure out how you pissed your girlfriend off last night, the time and effort that you spend replaying the conversation you've already had, put it into being present with yourself and asking your body really simple questions like, what do I need today? What am I feeling today? I meet so many people who are so worried about how everybody else feels. And whenever I meet a client like that, whenever I sit down with a client and they tell me how they're always concerned with somebody else or how someone else is feeling, I always look at them and say, well, how do you feel? Do you know how many people look at me like this? Well, I don't know. I guess I haven't thought about it. Then why are you thinking about how somebody else feels before you think how you feel? So you're automatically making that person more important, right? Because if you're more concerned with how someone else feels over you, why are you putting them above you? So don't try to worry or figure anyone else's emotions out if you don't understand your own. Hi, JJ, how are you? So many people try to fix people and save people and like decipher the stone tablet of so-and-so. So-and-so doesn't read that language and they never will try. So you can sit there and try to decipher it all you want, but it's going to fall on deaf ears. And I'll tell you, hello, Yodi, how are you? I'm someone who's guilty of that. I literally had a grown man less than a month ago. This is exactly the quote he said to me, verbatim. So this really is just an infatuation for you, isn't it? Did you figure out what did he say? Did you figure out your mystery, Sherlock? He called me right out, and there was not a single fucking thing I could say because he was right. He was right. He was 100% right. And I had to do some shadow work around that because why was I entertaining that? Why? Yes, Nikki, I'm going to upload it to YouTube as soon as I log off. I'm going to start downloading it. I am not a therapist, ma'am. I am not a therapist. I am not a replacement for medical anything or a lawyer or a financial advisor or anything. I am your friendly medium energy worker on the internet that just shares what life is like and what I've seen in my world. You're so welcome. Do. Ooh, Yodi, that sounds fab. JJ, that's good to hear. Thanks for coming to hang out with me. It's always an honor. Oh, Tanya, I love your face, my friend. Thanks for hanging out with me. I do private sessions. I actually just opened some shadow alchemy sessions. I offer reports for my people who are introverted and don't want to actually have a one-on-one, but they want the information. So yeah, feel free. The link for private sessions is up in the bio. And if you're someone who wants to learn, classes and things, they're over on the Patreon. But I just can't stress to you guys enough that taking your power back doesn't have to be $1 million. It doesn't have to be all these things. Start by spending a minute a day with yourself, right? Check in with yourself. How do I feel today? What do I need today? Just simple things that you would ask somebody else, right? Like you ask someone every day how they are, right? I guarantee you there's everybody in here. You have one person, right, in your life that every day you ask them how they are. Do you ever ask yourself how you are? Just being honest. When's the last time someone actually in here looked in the mirror and you actually looked at yourself? Not just how do you present to the world, but have you gone and just looked in the mirror and looked in your eyes for a minute and just see whatever comes to you? Just what do you feel? And how, for me, when I used to avoid mirrors. I used to avoid, the big windows out like out downtown somewhere, they have those big windows in the buildings. I used to hate walking by those because the last thing I wanted to do was look at myself. I used to be afraid of my own shadow. And the reason is because I thought if I didn't look at me, that no one else would. And I could just hide and just be quiet. And you know, I used to be like a really big girl, dude. I used to be a really big girl. And I used that as like my armor to hide from the world, because people don't really care about fat chicks. In the purview that I had, like, I always had friends that were prettier than me, that were skinnier than me. You know, I was just the fat, funny friend. Like, that's always who I was. That's Molly. She's just the fat, funny friend, and she's a tomboy. And that's just how I was known as. And that's not who I wanted to be known as, but I was accepted when I played that role. And if you really know me, you know I'm actually funny because of all my trauma. It's a cultivated experience. And when I lost weight was actually probably the most mind-blowing thing that I've ever done, to watch how society treated me. I got really resentful for a long time. When I lost weight, society treated me completely different than when I was a big girl. Men looked at me way more. They wanted to talk to me. They would hold doors open for me. And then the other thing I noticed is now women were mean to me. When I was a bigger girl, women were really nice to me, especially if you were smaller than me, because you didn't see me as a competition. And so when I lost weight, men really loved me and women really hated me. And I didn't see that until firsthand I experienced, you know, I had a woman that I was work colleagues with for a long time. And she's probably, I don't know, 20 something years older than me. And I lost a ton of weight in the last few years. And I had bought a new dress at Old Navy, and in losing that weight, I was really scared to wear a dress. And I'm a dress girl. Like, even when I was big, I would always wear dresses. But when I lost weight, I didn't want anybody to look at me. Like, I just kept feeling like I lost my armor, and now everybody sees me. And so I remember the first day that I decided to wear a dress. I walked into work, and every fucking guy that I worked with had something to say. Do you have a dress on today? You have a dress on today. Oh, you have a dress on today. Do you know what the women had to say to me? Oh, I have that same dress. What size is that? And I said, oh, it's a small. And I'll never forget, she went, must be nice. Mine's an extra large. And I'll never forget that I looked at her and I said, do you know how hard it was to buy a small when I'm used to picking up an extra small off the shelf, like an extra large off the shelf? I said, it was hard to do that. And I just remember her, like, just the way she looked at me. And she had never treated me that way. And so one thing I realized is when I lost weight, not only did I lose the armor, but society really perceives you in a certain light. And when I was bigger, I could just hide. And I would make a fat joke before you could, and then we would all move on with our day. And I got to a point where I just couldn't do that anymore. And then the table turned. Then people started making comments like, you're wasting away to nothing. Oh, I don't even remember what you used to look like. Just like dumb fucking comments that would come out of people's mouths. And I gotta tell you, it really got to me. It actually got to me to the point where I took a pair of my size 14 shorts, and then I took a pair of my size 4 shorts and I put them on top of each other. And I posted a picture of it, and I wrote like a statement that said, while it may be a big change for you, it was a bigger change for me. And so I'm still learning to love this new body, right? While you're all shitting on me. So maybe please just be mindful about the comments you make about other people's bodies, especially when it's unsolicited. I didn't ask for your opinion. I didn't ask you how I looked today. I didn't ask you to comment on my body weight. And I actually had to reverse because I got down to a size 4 and I looked like a corpse. I looked like shit. That's all I know how to tell you. I looked horrible. I looked like death. And I remember that I went to go lean in the bathtub and my whole spine hit the back of the bathtub. And I was like, bitch, this cannot happen. Well, I don't know what is going on, but this cannot happen. And mind you, I went to the doctor's office and I said, hi, I keep losing weight and I can't stop. Like, I don't know what's wrong. And the doctors literally just ignored me. Like, well, you're not fat anymore, so everything's fine. I even had a nurse. I had a nurse who looked at me one day and she said, you know, you've lost 20% of your body weight. I said, yep, I do know that. And the last time I came here to ask a doctor about it, I was diagnosed with a fucking sinus infection. So I don't know what sinus infection would make me lose 20% of my body weight, but I'm not asking again. And she even said to me, she's like, you might want to bring it up. I said, for what? Because as soon as I questioned the sinus infection diagnosis, do you know what the first response was from that doctor? Do you have anxiety? I went, I'm gone. I was like, I'm out. I'm leaving. And so I had to take my power back. This is where energy work became really important for me, because I went home and I looked in a mirror and I said, this can't happen. This cannot happen. And so I made the decision to start gaining weight, which is something I've never done in my life. Okay. Do you know how hard that was? I had to make the decision to start actively gaining weight. The thing that I hated doing my whole life, now I had to do it. Do you know how difficult that was? And then I had to come to a place of, where are you comfortable in your body? And now how do we go to losing, to gaining, to maintaining? And not because I want to look a certain way. I don't give a fuck what you think of me. I want to be comfortable in my own body. I want to be able to comfortably, like, cross my legs. I want to be able to comfortably do my yoga poses without my belly getting in the way. I want to be comfortable to walk up and down the stairs without huffing and puffing. That is literally all I want, and I've attained that. I mean, do I still want to tone up some stuff? Yeah, but I also need to be realistic that there are parts of me that I literally cannot fix unless I go and have surgery, and I'm not doing that. So I will forever have bat wings, but I don't care, because it shows, right? Like, to me, this shows, like, hey, I used to be here and I've grown, and like, look at how I've changed. So if people want to like shit on me for, oh, Molly used to be fat, okay, it's my testimony. And honestly, the girl I was then needed that protection and armor. She really did. And I'll never be mad at her for that. There are so many versions of myself that I used to hate. And I used to be really mad. And I used to like really shit on certain versions of myself. And then I realized that every version of myself protected me in the moment to get me to the place that I am. And so I love every single version of me. Even if she wasn't a great person, even if she hurt people, you know, I feel that and I've worked through that, but I don't regret her. Because there are so many versions of me that I needed to be to get to this one. And I have no regrets. I really don't. There have been some times of my life where I thought the whole world had ended. But the sun still rose the next day. And I had to keep going. And in the moment, I thought those were some of the, like, my life was over. And really, it was just the beginning. And there have been a lot of times in my life where God in the universe has been like, if you're not going to change course, I will make you. And you will not have an option. And they've given me warnings throughout my life. Like, I remember a year before, like, the last blow up happened, my guides came through someone else and said, you're coming to a crossroads with your career and you're going to have to make a choice. And I was like, what? I had just gotten a promotion. I loved what I did for a living. I thought that's what I was going to do. And then sure the fuck enough, a year later, the rug got ripped out from under me. There was no options, None. And it was just, now what? And I'm forever grateful for it. And, you know, the other thing is, if you know me and you hang out well enough, you'll know that I really try to be very cognizant about my sugar intake, because sugar and my belly don't get along at all. And my guides tried to warn me about that years ago. I'll never forget. They said, when are you going to learn that you can't eat sugar? And I was like, they were right. They were right. So this is why I always tell people, like, if you're getting messages from your guides that don't make sense now, give it a little while. And I guarantee you'll have that moment of, okay. So that's my speech of the day. I don't really know where that just came from. So cool beans on that. I hope that was helpful. I do have one more reading spot. Whether you want to do past lives, spirit guides, or energy work, you let me know. You're so welcome. Thank you guys for listening. The new podcast, Courtney, hello, you beautiful boo thing. The new podcast episode came out today over on the Patreon. It is basically a framework to shadow work. So it's very bare basic. Where do we hold emotions in our body? How do we find things energetically? What things energetically feel like? And how do we start building these skills to be able to work through them ourselves in the moment as it happens? So I had a lot of fun doing that. I'm going to try to do some more how-to podcasts, because I think that's really where the fun is in for me, you know, how I did it, and then you guys make it your own. I will say that forever and a day. If you're someone who takes a class with me, whatever, there is no right or wrong way to do things. There are safe and unsafe ways to do things, and I will give you the safe foundation for you to build on it on your own. That is my teaching modality. I don't mentor. I don't do any of these things because I don't believe in the hierarchy. I'm not better than you. We are the same. It's just the time and effort and devotion that you put in. That's all. Courtney, do you want a talisman? How was your day? Jen Marie, thanks for the hearts, dude. You the bomb. I'm excited to do your soul contracts later. I smell bread. Oh my God. Is Dinky in here? Oh my God. Dink, are you still here? Bitch, I forgot that I fucking started bread like 5 hours ago. Oh, I forgot. Can you please go check on the bread and make sure it is not burnt to a crisp? I smell it. It might be cooking still, but I just want to make sure it hasn't been cooked, and now it's burnt. I totally forgot that I did that, just so everybody knows. Totally forgot I was baking bread. All right, Courtney, let's see. It smells good, though. I smell it. Ooh. Courtney, this is the Destiny card. Let's see. Social limitations and negative bias trick our subconscious into believing we are not able to achieve our desires. We're taught to hide our unique nature to fit into the environment around us. Those coping skills keep us safe and acclimated to avoid danger, but they rob us of the power of positive manifestation. Thank you. By training the mind to pay attention to the positive, we feed our subconscious mind the belief that we can create our destiny and propel ourselves forward. Our minds can be free when we use this key that we've carried on our backs all along. A negative bias is our tendency to remember the negative far greater than the positive. Studies show that remembering negative experiences exhibits in a ratio as little as 3-to-1 and as large as 30-to-1. We have to make a conscious effort to override the pattern. The affirmation is, I am free. That was a good one. That was a very good one. Court, thanks for letting me pull it for you, boo. youthebomb.com. I know. And I got a butternut squash pasta sauce for dinner, okay? So if there was no bread, I was going to be really sad. Really sad. You're so welcome. So welcome. I am going to run. I may be back tonight. I am going to live on the ish. I may be back. I may not be. I'm not going to promise you, but I might come back. I am going to upload this live stream to YouTube too, but I want to share something with you before I go. I don't know why I'm doing this because I don't want to, but I felt compelled to share it this morning for the Daily Collective and I didn't. And so now I feel compelled to share it again. I almost told you don't make fun of me, but that's my own shadow work, so don't listen to me, okay? Okay. I don't know why we're doing this. I like to write poems. I am a poem person. I like to read poems. I like to write poems. All those things. And so, not that long ago, I saw a, poetry prompt that said grief as a living creature, and I would like to read you my whole poem. If my grief was a creature, surely he would have fangs and of course labeled as a he. For I have never met a monster of sadness who goes by she, unless of course that creature is me. No fangs, long trench coat, or a ground staff. Just a grown woman who was once the keeper of light for all, too young to understand how to properly care for the flames of all the other sad souls, stroking the flame to save them. I may be the living creature of grief, forever cloaked away as a strong, confident woman, but this creature was once a little girl who just wanted to be seen by the creature known as love. And I just got a restriction for bullying and harassment. I'm done. Oh my God. Thanks, TikTok. Really? I grow the balls to read my poem, and you hit me with a restriction for bullying and fucking harassment. Okay. Okay, thank you. Oh man. Thanks, friends. I got like super body chills as I read that, so thank you. Maybe I'll start trying to share more of them. Maybe I will. Courtney, I love you. So, I always try to tell you that creativity is something that can come out in a lot of ways. So whatever works for you, whether you're a poem person, whether you are all those things, find a way to express yourself. And the other thing I really want to say too is, for me, I almost didn't write that. And the reason is because I saw the prompt and immediately I was like, I need to write that. But then my brain was like, it's midnight. What do you need to do that? You probably won't write anything good anyway. And I still did it anyway. So if you see something and you feel compelled to do something, just do it in the moment. Just do it real quick. I've started a new journaling process because I really struggled with the Artist Way morning pages way more than I thought I would. So I'm doing the Book of Alchemy, and so this morning I just had to set a timer for 10 minutes and read the prompt, and when my timer went off, I was still writing. Like I wrote past the timer. So just find a way. I don't care what you do. Spend 2 minutes hanging out with yourself. Thank you, Jen Marie. Spend 2 minutes hanging out with yourself and whatever that is. Just trying to ask your body what it needs, what it wants to express, all those things. Because that's how you're really going to start to uncover and learn who you are as a whole. Okay, so I am going to run away, especially there is writing. So funny you say that. If you are someone who's in the Discord or you would like to come join the Discord, feel free. We do a ton of stuff in there. There's so much information in there, all these things. There is a writing section. And I know that I am going to try to be better about sharing things, because I shouldn't be afraid to share my creative process with you. So I'm going to start trying to be more conscious of sharing those things. And if you guys would like to, please feel free. Yes, we also started karaoke. If you've been in the main chat of the Discord, you would know Jen Marie and I were the first contestants to karaoke. But there is a new writing channel, guys, so feel free. So I'm going to give you guys a couple of reminders. The new podcast episode came out today. It's about the Bare Basics Roadmap to Shadow Work. Okay, Ember's on a 7-day free trial. If you want to go check it out, feel free to do that. I've changed all the guided meditations to $11 a recording, so that if people want to access them, you're more than welcome to. I'm going to take some of the older guided meditations and make them available for people in Ember to utilize. So if you're someone who's in Ember and you've been wanting more guided meditations, stay tuned. Next week is Ether Study Hall, where we're going to do a workshop to strengthen your intuition. So that's what's up next for classes. And what else? I open shadow alchemy sessions if you're someone who's ready to start digging into your trapped emotions, your patterns where you feel stuck. Those are available in the private booking link. And don't forget, if you're someone who wants to start like somewhere that doesn't feel intense, look into doing your soul design. I do a 7-page report for you that tells you how you're built and why you're built that way. I go over your human design, and then I go over your soul contracts and how you work as a human, all in one. So feel free to check that out if you're someone who's curious about it. If you're someone who joins Soul Sanctuary, you get your soul design report within the first week of joining Soul Sanctuary. And don't forget, as a part of Soul Sanctuary, you get access to every class, every meditation. You get access to soul sessions and so much more. So feel free to check out what works for you. And don't forget, there's free guided meditations on the YouTube as well. I upload these on the YouTube. And I think I'm going to start doing a guided meditation every now and then on TikTok again. Just like we did some more collective energy work over here today as well. So don't forget, you can go back and look at all of these TikToks on YouTube. If you would like to see reviews about me, if you're someone who's been watching and you're trying to get a vibe check, pick up on me. If you go to the Discord, there's an entire tab called Past Readings. And it's everybody and their experiences with readings that I have given them. So if you would like to go sift through that, feel free to check out the Discord. There's a whole tab where so many beautiful people have shared their experiences with me and the readings they've received, and it's really cool. So I always appreciate when you guys do that. Okay, I'm gonna run away and check on my bread because I can smell it even more. Does anyone have any questions for me? I might be back tonight. I'm just not positive yet. Just not positive yet. I'm trying to live more by my design, which is wait for the invitation. So I've only been coming live when I feel called, versus making myself do 2 a day. And I've noticed that energy and things flow better in doing that. So that's why I also say, if you're someone who is a projector and you're acting as a generator, that's probably why you feel really burnt out as someone who used to do that. So be mindful of your energy, my friends. I love every single one of you. I will see you guys later on. I hope you have a beautiful